I'm going to be talking today to one of the brightest stars of this generation, one of the brightest music stars, and I'm a fan of Fireboy. I love his songs Jealous, King, Vibration, Do Like I Say, Just Keep Going. You know, I always want to talk to these beacons, so to speak, of a new generation's energy, spirits, and aspirations. And I've been told that Fireboy is one of the most thoughtful stars you can find. I think I'll have fun with this one. So how did the actual music career start, like the professional thing?
Very interesting question, because I usually say that, okay, I started music in 2012. That was my second year in school. But I did not have sense until around 2017. You know, between 2012 and 2016, I was just the regular guy. I loved Wizkid, Davido. I wanted to be like, you know, the regular Afro pop star.
Yeah.
I didn't have any sound.
Yeah.
I could just sing. I was just doing the regular baby, 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 baby. It was really messed up. So at some point I sat down and I was like, guy, you know, go blow if you continue like this.
Right.
You have to find something that will make you stand out. And I realized that I didn't have the best vocals. Fine, of course I can sing, but
yes, you can.
I've heard people sing. And I realized that most of those people, maybe they had thousands of followers. Last some celebrities would just comment on their posts. And that was it. No impact, no song, no actual song. They were just doing covers. Like, no, I don't want to end up like this. I want to be a fucking superstar. Like, I want to be there. Or like, you know what? You're going to have to use your strength to like stand out. So it be like saying that these lyrics will use. So I just brushed up on my lyrics and they were like, you know what? I'll do Afro beats, but I will add more lyricism into it. And that was how I found my sound. And that's when I started, 2017.
2017, right. And you were not worried that in an industry where lyrics are not the thing that people are coming to, there was no worry in your mind like, what if this doesn't work out?
No, I wasn't worried because I wasn't doing the old extreme lyrics. I was just mixing it up, you know, combined. You know, we have scatter, we have, you cannot just say, scatter doesn't have the lyrics. I don't deceive myself. So I just mix it up. As I'm doing the intellectual thing, I always try to infuse the, I'm a Yoruba guy. I listen to Afrobeats. I'm an Afrobeats artist, so I always like to keep that balance, you know. So, as
a younger person, did you always know that you were not going to do a typical job?
Well, at some point, I thought I was going to end up as a professor.
Really?
Yes, because I was literature. Yeah, I was this book smart. I was giving off this vibe. Library prefect. I was giving my parents that, you know, this one's going to end up as a scholar. So when I switched up on them, it was really hard for them to take. So I actually thought I was going to, you know, end up like that. But when I had some clarity, I knew that I was never going to end up doing a 9-to-5 job. I would not do that. But like, I'm going to do everything it takes. I prayed to God. I said, God, the only kind of hard work I want to have in this life is stressful flights, long studio sessions, sweating on stage. I don't care. That's the kind of hard work I want. So, yeah.
How did your parents take this great news?
Well, they didn't take it too well because, you know, I just switched up on them suddenly. And they didn't even know at some point. They thought I was still, until my dad started monitoring my grades by himself and like, what was going on? And then I had to tell him the truth. So my mom is a softie, so it was easy to get her to like support me. But my dad, man, every call always ended with, well, hope you're good. Well, but I always have to insist, I am disappointed in you. Like, please. You know, so, but at some point, it realized that, you know what, this is a grown man. You have to make your own decisions yourself. But things didn't really fall in place until when it started making sense. And then my dad realized, oh, okay, we have something here. And then in the evening, he just puts his phone on his pot belly and listening to What If I Say or King or you know, stuff like that. So yeah.
So he's all right now.
Yeah, he's good. We're all good.
At that time, was it painful that he didn't get it? Especially a word like disappointment. Was it?
I don't reason anybody that time.
Right, you were just focused on
I was just focused on my stuff.
Right.
It didn't really get to me. Because I knew that it was going to come to that. So my whole point was, I have to make it.
Yeah.
It was even a booster for me that, you know what, you have to prove everybody wrong.
Yeah.
So,
how is it going from nerd to ultimate cool kid? Do you think back at yourself then and think, wow, this has been such a change? Yeah,
I do. Because some of my friends, they still be like, wow, you used to wear glasses in school, guy. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think, first off, purpose changes you. And then fame and success and clarity and dreams. A lot of things change you as a person. And growth is very normal in life. So
what does it mean to be a star in 2020?
I don't know. But nowadays my concern is more of how can you keep this up for long? How can you make better songs? How can you not fuck up? Those are the things that I think of. So I don't really think about the fame. The only time that it comes is when maybe I'm just riding my bicycle in my estate and I'm all disguised up and I'll say, Fireboy, like, oh, not again.
You can't just ride this.
And then it just comes back to me like, oh, you're famous.
Yeah.
You're really famous, So yeah, but times like that I think about it, but I don't really put much thought into it. Fame is a very fucked up spirit.
Yeah. Explain that. I think I know that, but for people who are watching, what do you mean by it's a fucked up spirit?
Fame is just like money. It's like it's like sex. Those three things are really, they can get to you, they can fuck you up mentally. Like they can drive, they can what's the word? They can affect your thoughts. They can manipulate you into doing things. They get to you a lot. And then you feel on top of the world and then you just make mistakes.
Right.
And when you're famous and you make mistakes, you're making mistakes for everyone to see. It's different from when you're just a normal person. And you can quickly correct them. But there's some mistakes that are very costly. And I do not want to make any costly mistake.
Right.
So I'm always very careful. Fame is very dangerous.
So you're talking about the pressure of, beating the old record, How is that pressure like?
Nobody really manages pressure, to be honest. It's either you allow it to enter or you keep it off. So the only pressure I allow to fuck me up is the one I give to myself, the one I put on myself. Trust me. I think the pressure I put on myself is more than the one that the fans are. I just look at some Twitter, I'll be like, I've said this to myself before, stuff like that. So of course there's always that pressure, and the important thing is to channel that pressure into something productive. I've proved that I'm not a one-hit wonder, but I also have to prove that I'm not a one-album wonder. And you have to keep proving and proving and proving and proving. As long as I'm proving it to myself, I do not give a f.
So what kind of pressure do you put on yourself? Like,
I'm a very big critic of my works.
Right.
I'm more of a critic than a fan, to be honest. Trust me. It's only in rare occasions when I make some songs, I'm like, there's nothing anybody can tell me. This song is amazing. I think I felt that way with King.
Right.
I felt that way with Jealous. I felt that way with Vibration.
Right.
The rest, not sure. Maybe Bass Bulls, yeah.
Right.
When I made LTG, after LTG, I was like, hey, who I won't tell. I kept, but thank God for the kind of team I have.
Yeah.
They kept, they encouraged me.
Yeah.
Especially Bado.
Right.
Olamide is like, I say it every time.
Yeah.
I ride on his confidence a lot.
Right.
Whenever he notices that I might be doubting, he's just like, guy, don't worry. And then his presence is just enough.
Just keeps you calm.
So.
I'm going to ask a question about Olamide. I've never met him. It's one of the people I've never met. Is he a human being? No, I'm serious. Like, it feels like someone that doesn't really care. He's not really here with the rest of the world. He dances to his own beats, plays his own. Is he a human being?
It takes a lot of, I don't know, discipline and self.
Yes.
It's inspiring, to be honest. I learned from him. It's like my mentor. So I just watch him. I'm like, can this man ever make mistakes and stuff like that? But it is what it is. He must have gone through a lot to develop himself into that kind of person.
When we come back,
that's what I meant by fame is a very crazy thing. Sometimes you feel so powerful, but sometimes you feel like a god.
Let's go back to that Risha Pope. What are those down moments for people, what would those be like at that time when you're trying to just push and build and get this thing? What would you call a down moment in those times?
I wouldn't call it depression.
Okay.
Because depression is deep.
Yeah,
I'm saying, but
yeah.
The down moment is when the thoughts just creep into your head. Okay, now, what if you never blow?
Yes.
Like, what if you never get to blow? Like,
Yes.
what if you never make it in life? What do you want to do with your life?
Yes.
Do you want to go back to, do you want to use this certificate to teach? Do you want to end up as a boring teacher in school? What do you want to do? Your parents have said this, your friends have said this. Even one of the girls you were toasting that year has even washed you small, has even insulted you, that you not go back. What do you want to do? Like, what if you never make it? So when those thoughts come, sometimes it might be in the middle of work, I would just drop the headphones and the mic, sit down on the bed, and ask God some very serious questions. Cry, pray, pray.
Right.
Get back up and just get back to work.
Keep moving.
So those were those down moments for me.
There's so many young people, so many, and again, I think that, God, again, I feel like an old person, but I've been in this industry for
20 years is a long time.
You
are an old person.
Yes.
Do not deny it.
No, yes, I like it. No, I love it. That's the whole idea.
Beautiful. You are old.
Yes, I take it.
Jesus Christ, 20 years.
I'm going to chase you up myself.
20 years is a long
20
time.
years, yes. And
how old am I?
How old are you?
Sorry, 24. 20 years is a long time.
11 years. No, I couldn't have.
I was 4 years old.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Yes. So 20 years, 11 years older than you. Yes. But let's move on. I don't like the way you're making me feel. Let's move on. So, do you annoy people around you when they ask you a question and you take it in another direction? Like, do they be like, "Oh, guy, you are thinking too deep"?
I really don't. I'm not like that with most people.
He's looking as if you annoy him.
Well, I don't know. I don't think so. But I don't really talk to most people like that. Most of those things I do it myself.
Right,
I annoy myself. Yeah, I'm like, guy, calm down.
Yeah.
So I do that myself. But I don't really think that happens a lot with some people, most people. Right. Because I don't relate like that with most people.
Okay. And the other one you think you talk about a lot is purpose. Yeah. Like, that hits me. Like, again, I said, I know that people told me you are very, you think about things deeply, but even the word purpose, I didn't, because sometimes purpose is like motivational speaking.
It's not motivational speaking, no. It's not motivational speaking, no.
Right.
Purpose is purpose. Purpose is after that night when I got back from the studio and I listened to that song, it wasn't the best of songs, but it just hit me that, oh my God, yes, this is it. This is what I've been searching for in my life. And at that point, I was blind to every single thing. Even the school I was in, farm, I was blind to everything. And that's what I think purpose is. So when you find your purpose, like, you just be blind to every other thing. It's just that thing that you have your mind on.
Right. And so when it hits you, you know that this is it.
You will know.
Because you feel what? You feel at peace. You feel.
Yeah, you will just know. And it will just become blind devotion.
It will just become blind devotion.
Like, that's purpose. It's not motivational. Yeah. I feel like that's just it.
It's a real thing.
Like when you have something that you set your mind to and you want to do it so bad, you find purpose.
Yeah. Did you finish school?
Yeah.
Right. How was that? How did you manage to finish?
It was a tough time. It was tough. It was a struggle.
Right.
But yeah, I had to.
Right.
I had an extra year. Yeah.
Right.
But I finished.
Okay. And was it important to you to finish? Or what? Or you just like, let's just finish this thing that we started?
To be honest, I just couldn't wait because I knew that after school like this, I wasn't going back home.
Right.
I was going straight to Lagos.
Right. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Abeokuta.
Right.
Ogun State.
And you went to school in OAU?
Yeah, Osun State.
Right.
Yeah, so I didn't go home after school. I just went straight to Lagos.
Moved on with purpose, yeah. Which is what it is. No, that's what it is. Really. When you get the thing, you know where you are going.
You know where you're going and you know where you need to be.
Yeah.
So
was the extra year tough for you?
Very tough. Very tough. Very, very tough.
What was tough about it?
Lecturers.
Yeah.
The shame.
Yes.
There was a time my dad came to my school. Hey God. Final year and your dad came to school as if it was like some secondary school and he was holding my hand like, let's go to your lecturer's office.
Yeah.
It was really embarrassing and those were really tough times for me.
Yeah. Was it like I told you not to do this your music thing?
It was, at first it wasn't music, he just thought it was something else. He just felt I lost focus or something because he knew his son. So I mean, you're brilliant, what's up? Yeah. At that time he didn't really know that it was the music thing. Right. It was later on I let him know that okay, this is what's happening here. Yeah, so
you came to Lagos after school, and how did you figure out? How did you find your way? That's even before you met YBNL. You come into Lagos, what's the first thing you do? Did you have friends in Lagos who were already saying, I'm going to keep you in the house? Did you have family? How did you settle in?
I came to Lagos with something in mind, because I signed a mini contract with someone.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, it was like a 1 year thing. It was like, let's just see how this thing goes for 1 year.
Okay.
So all of us were in just one house, just chilling, making music, and we're pushing. And this friend of mine, it was, you know, he wanted to break out in the industry so bad that, you know, he was making some moves. He had to pay some people, and after everything, nothing. So it just put some clarity in my life. Like, okay, so it's not even about all these things. So after that 1 year, that's when the clarity came. That, oh, okay, I think you need to calm down, find your sound, develop yourself, and, you know. So it wasn't like I've always been the all-knowing wise guy. I made mistakes too. Yeah.
Right,
So
right. To get on stage now, you know, to thousands of people screaming, shouting, fainting, etc. I know you're here for the music, but you must feel like God when you're on the stage and you are seeing this.
Sometimes, that's what I meant by fame is a very crazy thing. Sometimes you feel so powerful. Sometimes you're talking to people and you see the person shaking. Maybe the person is even probably older than you.
Yes.
It happens a lot.
Yes.
Maybe at the airports, and then I meet a fan, and I'm like, this guy is probably pushing 30. Why are you shaking? What's going on? Sometimes you just feel like, is it not just me? But then the human side of you will be like, yes, a superstar. Shut up. What's your problem? Why are you feeling like, you know? So yeah, sometimes you feel so powerful on stage. Yeah, you know, but I wouldn't say it as feeling like God. Okay. But sometimes you feel like a God.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So I think that's something that really drove my mindset when I was working on my Sophomore album. This album I'm working on. So
right. So you're working on an album now.
Yeah.
Right. When is it? Can you tell us anything about it?
All I know is that it's going to be available sooner than most people think.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very, very specific.
Yeah, so that's all I can say about that.
When you say, like, is there anything driving this particular album? Is there?
Well, LTG was more like an insight into what my sound is, what I sound like. Right. But this album is like me telling you who I am, what I am. Right. You know, it's a more insightful, you know, peek into the kind of person I am. So yeah, it's more
and I know we've talked about that a bit, but I was going to ask something like that, so I might as well ask it now. If somebody asks you, like, look, Fireboy, look, who are you? I mean, there's Fireboy, and are you one of those people that differentiates like your
the old,
persona from your persona? There's Fireboy, there's Adidamola.
Oh, I don't really know. All I know is that there's Fireboy DML the brand. Yes. Then there's Damola the man, of course. Right. That's very normal. But I don't think I have any alter ego.
So you don't think you have any alter ego? Which of these are you unveiling to us in this new album?
It's still Fireboy.
Fireboy, right?
But Fireboy doesn't really talk much or say too much.
Yeah.
But I think Fireboy said something.
Right, in this album, right.
That's just.
What kind of the brand Fireboy? What would you say it is? What kind of energy is it bringing into the world? What does the brand want to do? What do you want to do? What impact do you want to make?
Okay. I want to establish the fact that there are some artists that do not give about how people see them or how it's just the music, you know. And that's one thing I want my brand to really preach out there. I want you to hear Fireboy and just music. I don't want you to hear Fireboy and think something else. You know, I want you to hear Fireboy and think music. You know, so that's one thing I really want my brand to preach out there.
Right. When we come back,
I was 12, 13, and I was already like a household name on that app.
What's the highlight of your career so far?
Laughter, Tears, and Goosebumps. That album has been the highlight of my career so far, to be honest. Yeah. Changed everything. Changed everything. And I'm grateful for that.
I want to ask two questions about it. So tell me the story of your nails.
My nails.
Can the camera see those nails?
This is just the result of a very weird, twisted mind, to be honest.
I want to hear about it.
Nothing much to it.
But still, what's happening in the mind?
Well, fashion-wise, I think it actually makes my already really nice finger look much. There's this vibe. Right. And I realized that the human mind is really messed up. If you see it in pictures, you're first be like, what's this? Yeah. And then later you're like, it's not bad.
Not bad.
You know, so I think I'll have that effect on the ladies. Those are my target audience, of course. So, and I think it was just a mood for me. I just really felt like, and it's, you know, I changed my profile picture on Instagram and Twitter, black.
Right.
So I was just in that black mood, and I just wanted to just act on it.
Right.
And as usual, I don't give a fuck.
You don't think you just did what you wanted to do?
Yeah.
Right.
Fireboy does what he wants to do.
Fireboy does what he wants to do.
Yeah.
So think about this, going back. You know about, I said I was going to ask about this, the dark poem. The dark poems. What was that about?
Yeah, the dark poems. I was just I was a lonely kid.
Right.
Yeah, I had the love of my parents, of course, and my brothers.
Right.
But most times I was by myself. And I struggled with self-esteem at some point. You know, so when I started realizing how talented I am, you know, I was good at words, I could sing. I think I started to appreciate myself more.
Right.
And I'm like, you know.
But what would cause your low self-esteem? What would cause it? Like, and again, you know better than me, but people looking from the outside be like.
Well, I didn't always know that I was this.
Was it about your
gifted
career?
No. There was no career at that time now.
Yeah, so what was the low self-esteem about?
Sometimes you just feel like you are not enough. I think it's a human thing.
I think it's also a thing, and why I'm leading into that question, because it's a thing for many young people, even today.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, so much pressure out there.
So much pressure.
You know, you feel like some people are doing better than you. Even when you're as young as 7 or 11 or 10, it might be something as simple as you took second in class and then there's a first, or you had third and there's a second, there's a first. Or your parents are telling you about how the son of one of their friends did something, and you know, it just registers in your mind that I could be that. You know, so it's those little things.
Yes.
So I think that's why that song King is very important to me.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's about self-worth.
Right. Did you do anything at those times because there was no career, like you said, at that time? Was there anything you did to just to keep yourself going?
Yeah, there were poetry platforms where you're allowed to post your poems, and then people comment on them. And there was this app that actually became a household name on that app. Like, there are some apps that we have celebrities there. So I was 12, 13, and I was already like a known person on that app, a respected poet. So I think it really boosted my energy, my self-esteem, because there were a lot of people were like commenting. I'm like, I look up to you. I'm like, I'm just 13 years old. What the fuck
are you looking up to at this level?
You know, so I think it really made me realize that you have a lot of potential. Yeah, it was something.
When I'm having this conversation with you in 5 years, where do you think you would have been by then?
Well, I'm very sure we'll still be in a garden like this. Maybe there'll be a pool.
Right, okay.
You know, some beautiful women around.
Right, okay.
But by then, I think I will become a household name. And by then, I'll be recognized as one of the Afrobeat stars that actually, you know, succeeded in putting Afrobeats on that pedestal, like that made Afrobeats a registered, worldwide known genre. Because right now, it's not.
Right.
It's not really. It's not really recognized. It's still categorized on that world.
Right. So you mean like independent?
Yeah, independent.
Own,
it's strong independent genre. And I think that it's up to, you know, this generation, myself, Rema, Joe Boy, everybody, you know, coming up. It's up to us to like finish up what Whiskey, Davido, everybody has started. Even them Whiskey, Davido are still in the game. They're still doing it. So I think it's our responsibility as you know, we coming up to like just join in the movement and just take it there. So I think by that time, definitely, I will be recognized as one of the artists that succeeded in making that happen.
And so I have a 60-year-old cousin who is in music.
He's 60. I thought you're 60 years old. That would have been very interesting.
I'm going to work Fireboy up. I'm going to work you up. Very interesting. So there's a 16-year-old, 15. 2 years ago, he told me he's into music, And 2 years ago, he told me, no, Chude, I think that time is going. He was 14. Time is going.
Wow.
So I'm like, well, this is the communal sickness. I'm not going to tell you that time is not going. But if someone like him, and he's just trying to do everything, you know, he's putting his music out, he's getting some plump, he's moving, you know. And tell me, what is the most important thing you would give me to hold on to as I try to go? What would you say? I
think I already said it.
Yes.
You know, about, you know, sitting down to work on your sound.
Just work on your sound.
I've said it everywhere I go. That's the only thing I know.
That's the only thing.
Of course, hard work. A lot of people say it has sounded cliche, but it's the truth. You have to work hard. You have to work. You have to be a bastard when it comes to working hard. You have to really work hard.
Right.
So, and I think if you have the passion, it should be easy.
It should be easy
to get yourself to work hard. So that's that. But more importantly, you have to build yourself into an artist that somebody will want to sign up. Someone wants to really help. You have to. It's your music that will speak for you. You cannot. I mean, who has time to, for someone to walk up to someone and saying, I am a this one, listen to my... Let them hear the music. They will reach out to you. Trust me. The right people will come. So that's just the most important thing.
Thank you. This has been a fantastic conversation.
I had fun.
Thank you. Oh, that's good. I'm glad I had fun too. It's a wrap, guys.